welcome in. Thank you guys for joining us again on the porch. We are super excited to have a fabulous guest doing an I Am episode today. How I learned about him was on Facebook because he was very verbal about taking care of yourself health-wise. But then he went on to emphasize that men really need to take the forefront on their health. Now, I don't know about you ladies, but in our household, it's the woman that's always nagging the man. We want you to go to the doctor. We want you to see what that's all about. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So again, I was super excited to find an individual who was excited about helping men do the same. So without further ado, let's introduce our I Am guest for today. Tell us who you are and a little bit about what you do.
All right, Miss McKinney, thank you so much for that warm introduction, darling. And I like to start out how I want to finish. I want to thank you and your platform for this opportunity to be here today. I don't take this lightly. I love what you're doing, the positive vibes and energy that you're putting out into the world. And I wanted to make time to be here today. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for this opportunity to you and your platform and to your followers just to be here today. So I am Eric, the Men's Health NP Priority Male on social media. You may have seen me in a couple of videos that may have been shared on the different platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And I exist because I've been doing this for 25 years. I've been a nurse for 25 years, and I've been a nurse practitioner for the last 15 of those years. And I'm not your typical person that you see. When you think of nurse, you don't think of me. It's not a black male. No. This is a female-dominated profession, and I'm not supposed to be here according to statistics. But anyway, I'm here by the grace of God. But in my career, I've had an opportunity to see a lot of men that look like me die prematurely from things that we could do something about. I worked in the ICU for about 10 years, and I had so many uncomfortable conversations at the bedside with beautiful sisters and their families as their husband was dying at a very early age from things that we could have done something about. And a lot of it was lack of knowledge, the disparities that exist in this world that we all know all too well where they are and how they exist. And then just black men not trusting the medical system because of the history in this country. So it's been about 4 years, maybe almost 5 years now, I kind of started this platform. And I wanted to be able to educate men to live happier, healthier lives and to put that information out there on the social media platform, internet, highway, byways, however you want to put it, and put a face to it that looks like them that they can relate to, and to share information that would help them make better decisions about their health, motivate them, educate them, and help them navigate their wellness journey, and show them that someone that looks like them has the same challenges that they have in life. I just happen to be doing this professionally, but I can speak to the social side and the professional side. And my goal, again, is to share this information with the world and do my part to leave this world better than I found it. That's Priority Male in a nutshell.
Oh my gosh, and what a nutshell it is. So what was that moment when you were like, that's it, I've got to get my message out there. I'm not just doing behind the scenes, but I'm not just doing the clinician work. I'm going to get out here and do some, I guess it's kind of administrative. You're speaking up, you're letting people know what's going on with health and what they need to do about it. So what was that moment when you were like, you know what, that's it, I'm about to do it?
Well, that moment kind of happened when I was probably, again, I've been NP now 15 years. It was about 7-8 years ago. It kind of happened. I was seeing a patient in clinic and I just got tired of like, brother, why are you doing this? Why are you not doing this? And it kind of, you know how you get that calling, but you ignore it? It happened. And I was like, I got to do something about this. Where do I start? I have no idea where to start. So I was like, how am I going to reach the masses? So my panel of patients used to always have rave reviews about me. Mr. Taylor, he's the best NP in the world, this, that, and the third. People would request to be on my panel of patients because I had a great way of relating to them. And then word kind of got out in the community that he's a great person to come and speak at certain church functions. So it started very small and low key. I would speak at a lot of church functions, low key social events. They would have me as like an expert speaker to speak on high blood pressure, diabetes, and things of that nature. And I kept it so raw and authentic and added the health and humor because when they left, I made sure that they laughed while they learned because it sticks. when you hear something that is you can relate to, and then there's a comedic spin put on it, you're like, oh man, you remember when he said so and so? They leave laughing and they go tell everybody. And then so it kind of started that way, and then I started to see the impact in the community. You know, some of my patients would come in, I would see for the first time, I'd never seen them. They'd be like, yeah, I heard about you, this, that, and that. I'm like, man, they know me, but they don't really know me like that. So I need to get it out there. And I wanted to find a way to reach a greater mass of men, specifically men, because women are 3 times more likely to go to the doctor. Y'all go way more than we do. In y'all sisterhood circles, y'all sit and talk about everything under the sun and under your clothes, especially us. Don't get some emotions flowing. Oh, we definitely on the agenda. But I wanted to be able to speak to them because, again, I saw so many beautiful families being torn apart because these men were dying in their mid to late 40s, early 50s from things that they could do something about. And life was really just beginning for them. And they were leaving their families behind. And I had done CPR so many times. That stuff you see on TV, that ain't real. I don't believe all that. I worked in the ICU where you actually pump on the chest. I've broken ribs and all of that. And I know what that feels like, the visceral feeling that is, and to see somebody just pass away in front of you. You get numb to it after a while. I went to the morgue way more than I care to remember or recall. And sadly, I took a lot of people that looked like me to the morgue. And I got tired of it. I got tired of it. Like there's got to be a change. Men were dying from complications of high blood pressure, complications of diabetes or diabetes, as I like to call it in our community, and just overall neglect or lack of access or knowledge about how to access the system. And a lot of times they were intimidated by the system because they didn't see anybody that looks like them that could speak the language. You know, you can talk to a patient, but can you talk to the patient? Can they really relate to what you said without all them big medical terms and speaking to them on a level that they feel like, yeah, he like me. I can listen to him. Now, you know, give me all the information I need done so I can go do it. And I have a great ability to do that. And I thank God for that ability to be able to connect with people and to be able to communicate on that level to where I can use all the big words. Trust me, I can talk with my colleagues and we can run circles around you, have you dizzy with all these big words, but it's not necessary when talking to your patients. And I always try to break it down to this lowest level to where when they leave, they've got a message that they can take and apply to their life, and I can be there to coach them along the way. And again, I also share my own personal struggle because I'm not perfect. I put this stethoscope on and got this title, but that means nothing at the end of the day because I'm still a Black man in America. Now, let's be real. We can really go somewhere with this, but I know that's not the topic we're here for today. But I'm a Black man in America. I work in healthcare. And yeah, there's some challenges in this system, in this world that are, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this and be politically correct. Prejudicial care exists. I'll put it like that. You know, sometimes we are seen as a number. Sometimes we're seen as a nuisance or a bother to some of these providers, and they really don't care. They don't care. They're just checking the box, getting the check, get paid. They could care less how well you do. They're on to the next. And I can speak on that personally and professionally because I've seen it firsthand. And it's sad. And I aim to not be that. I've never been that kind of provider. And again, my goal is to leave some legacy behind. What I'm doing between my sunrise and sunset, some of it's being captured here on social media. And when I'm dead and gone, they'll be able to say, who was this cat prior to Mill? Because he left his mark on this world. And I feel like I've been blessed beyond my wildest imaginations, and to be where I am today, it doesn't seem real. I have to pinch myself because, again, when you think of nursing, medicine, healthcare, nurse practitioner, I'm not the first thing that comes to mind. You ought to see the look of some of my patients' face when I walk in the room. They see the name Eric Taylor, and Eric Taylor is a very generic name. Come on now. And you can't really tell, is he a brother? Is he other? What is he? So when I walk in the room, especially some of my palm-colored people, my white people, brothers and sisters, when I walk in the room, they be like, who are you again? Because we were just, are you the nurse? Are you the nurse? No, I'm the nurse practitioner. I'll be seeing you today. You got to see the look. And I used to have to give my resume at least once every other week. I had to tell people where I went to school. I'm highly credentialed. I almost had to give them a DNA sample so they could check, because they couldn't believe it. And then, to be able to string words together and sound make sense, they were like, something ain't right here. Because the stereotype of me in this world, a black man, I'm the boogeyman to the goddamn world. Excuse my language, sis, but I don't have no other way of putting it. But as a black man, I'm the boogeyman to the world. I'm not supposed to be doing anything positive. I don't fit the negative stereotype outside of the color of my skin, being bald and physically fit with a beard. And that intimidates a lot of people. And I'm educated. You just can't come wrong with me. You can't get, smart with the mouth and think I won't check you. Because look, I ain't no thug, I ain't no street guy, but I don't play that disrespect. And that rubs some people the wrong way. And then I speak what's on my mind. I don't care who you are. I don't care your position, where you came from, how much money you got, what side of town you live on. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm going to call it like it is. And that rubs some people the wrong way. And if you look at my platform, I do my part to remain authentic and positive. There's so much negativity in this world. All the foolishness that happens. And think about the things that go viral on social media. There's always us doing something stupid. The crate challenge. Remember that crate challenge a few months back? Fools damn near getting paralyzed from the neck down, walking on some damn milk crates.
I actually tried it and I didn't make it very far. I'm just kidding. I didn't try it.
Come on, sir. I was going to say now. Wait a minute. I know you did.
Your education and the struggle to get to where you are. Yes, you are right. It is like, wow, to see a black man in your position. You're smiling. You are super, what's the word? You got that courage or courageous behind you. I can't think of the words or whatnot. And that's awesome, which is one of the things that drew me to you for sure.
Yeah.
What has that challenge been like for you? You said you've been doing it for 15 years?
I've been a nurse for 25 years, and 15 of those years I've been a nurse practitioner. Okay. I feel like I'm the voice of the voiceless at times, because again, we don't always have someone that's courageous enough to speak up for our needs. And I'm on the inside, so I know intimately what's going on behind the curtain. Y'all don't see what's going on behind the curtain, but trust me, your boy is there. And I'll be the first to speak up on some BS when it don't sound right. And I'll be like, hold up now. Now, Mr. Parker over here got the same symptoms as Mr. Williams. But we gonna do this for Mr. Parker, but Mr. Williams get that? Oh, hell no. No. We're not on my watch. So we need to have a conversation with both of these patients and understand how we can treat both of them equally. Because again, if you don't have somebody that is aware, educated, and can advocate and be willing to speak up, you can get railroaded here in the healthcare system. And so many times, beautiful sisters get sent home from the ER with vague chest pain because they don't think you're having a heart attack, and you go home and die in your sleep because someone either overlooked something or didn't think it was serious enough. And I hate to say it, a lot of times it's the color of your skin. And you just got to be able to ask the right questions. You got to know how to advocate. And you got to know how to sometimes get nice nasty with them and let them know, look, you're not going to put me out. You're going to get somebody in here. Matter of fact, give me somebody else. I don't want to talk to you no more. Give me somebody else. And, I'm that dude that'll be the first one to say that. I don't like your attitude. I don't like how you're talking to me. You're talking at me and not to me. I need somebody else. And my goal here is to be the voice of those people and to put the information out so they can hear it from someone that looks like them. And then when that situation comes up, they have somewhere to go and say, hey, I remember him talking about this. Let me listen to that video again. So when I go to the doctor, I know what to ask. And I can advocate better for myself. And I can make better choices for myself because now I know. And I've had several patient testimonials where they watch me on this platform. Matter of fact, not patients, but members that follow me, where they've gone to their doctor and they brought up stuff that I've talked about on the platform. And they said the doctor stopped what he was doing. It's like, wait a minute. How do you know that? And it was like, why you want to know that? I'm asking a question about what you say I have, and I need to know what you think. And they said the doctor had to step out the room and come back. And when he came back, he was like, now, how do you know this again? And then they would tell them, hey, there's this guy I follow on social media. He's a nurse practitioner, and he's always educating us about our health. And I have a condition that he had presented on, and I watched the series. And when I told him, when I came to see you, I was going to ask those questions. And he got a great outcome in that particular visit because the topic I had spoken about was his symptoms and situation, and he was able to get the help that he needed. So that right there, that's the payment for all that I do on this platform. I don't ask anybody. I don't have Cash App out there. I don't have you donating anywhere. I do this all free because I'm blessed, again, professionally beyond my wildest imagination. And again, this is my gift to the world. To be able to share this information with people, especially people that look like me.
And what a gift it is. I'm sitting here going like, I'm going to the doctor wherever he is. I'm going to move and go over there because advocating for yourself is a big thing. I've been that patient that's, hey, lady, if you don't sit down, we're going to take your car button away. I've been that person before too. But the other side of that that I really wanted to bring out today or needed your help bringing out is being able to speak up and being honest with your physician yourself about what you're doing in your own lifestyle with your own medicine. So for instance, you have diabetes, they give you insulin, you don't take the insulin, you go back, your A1C is up. So now they give you more insulin or put you on a different insulin. What about speaking up and saying, you know what, doc, I haven't been doing what I'm supposed to do? How much of that do you see from us?
Sis, we'd have to do another podcast just on that alone. Like I said, diabetes in our community is out of control. And then you factor in what I like to call diobesity, which is diabetes and obesity in our community. It's out of control. And a lot of times we don't like to take insulin because we feel like that's it. And people have needle phobia. They don't like the needles. And then they don't like to give themselves shots because they feel like they failed somewhere in their health or their life. And even with the genetics that are there, mama has diabetes, daddy has diabetes, all the aunts and uncles got diabetes, but for somehow they don't have diabetes despite all the signs and symptoms and the evidence that the doctors presented to them. And they refuse to take the insulin. And then they won't change their diet. They won't exercise. But when they come to the doctor, most patients show up to the doctor, they want to be a good patient. It's like the teacher's pet. You always want to be good in your teacher's eyes or your doctor's eyes. So they're not going to tell you everything. But see, I got a radar that can pick the BS up right. As soon as you hit the door, I already know, yeah, something ain't right here. And I'm just going to wait for you to tell me. And then I'm going to ask the questions in such a way that you're going to almost lie and tell on yourself. You ain't going to even realize it. Because I've been doing this for a long time. And then I like to play in my own personal situation. And that's how I get them to open up. I say, look, I'm not a diabetic, but I sympathize with diabetics. I love sweets. I'm weak for chocolate, ice cream, and things of that nature. And I know how hard it can be in this world if you're diabetic and then these tempting treats are all around you. So, and then I just kind of go into a conversation and share my issues. And then I see how they open up. And a lot of them get so relaxed. And before I know it, our appointment has gone well over the time we were supposed to be there. But we made progress, and I was able to get them to understand the importance of why we have you on this medicine and why you need to take it. And we've had a lot of breakthroughs in those cases. But I have a few stubborn, hard nuts to crack. Men are stubborn. Oh my God. Woo! And I can speak honestly on that because I'm a man. We like to control a lot of stuff, and if this is something that I can't control and it's out of control, I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it. I don't want to hear nothing else you got to say, and I might not even come back your way because I'm tired of paying this co-payment and you telling me the same thing over and over again, and I'm tired of my wife or my girl nagging. I want these chips, I want that ice cream, and I'm going to eat that, and you shut up. I'm going to die of something anyway, so I'm going to die happy. I've heard patients say that all the time, and it's like, okay, we all have a right to make poor choices. It's your choice. So, but I do my part to try to educate them and reinforce it again, make it personal and get them to see the bigger picture because I want them to also understand this is not just about you. You have a beautiful family. And sometimes I'll ask to see a picture of their family. Then that kind of hits them in the core. So I'm like, oh man, you got a beautiful family. How old is your daughter? How old is your son? And so forth and so on. I'm like, so what do they want to do with life? And then they'll go and telling them how they're educating them and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, and you're not taking your diabetes medicine. You think you're going to be able to stay here to see them do that stuff you just said? They sound like they got some great goals set for themselves, and you are a great role model, but you're not going to be here if you don't manage your diabetes. We got to fix that. Then I put it on them. And then they realize it's not just me, it's my family. So, and some guys get it and they do what they need to do, but not everybody.
No, not everybody. And I completely understand that. And so what about COVID? Saints, if y'all need to step off the recording now, you can.
Oh, I'm sorry, Saints, if I've said a few things. I do apologize. I'm human. I ain't perfect, but hey.
I just know that when you talk about COVID in the medical profession, this ought to be pretty good. What are your thoughts on COVID? Was it a push for you? I saw a meme that said if COVID didn't bring out the hustler in you, you just don't have it. So what was COVID like for you, especially with the Priority Mail platform? Did it push you? Did it slow you down a little bit? Did it give you something to talk about? What was COVID like for you?
So COVID changed the landscape in healthcare, and healthcare will never be the same because of COVID. COVID pushed me to really be innovative with how I could reach patients. The offices were short-staffed, staff were calling out sick because of COVID, and there's really nothing you could do about it. Some of your work family members, the people you work with every day, you spend your most wakeful hours with, that you really know, they were dying. You were losing people in your family that maybe weren't blood family, but they were in your office for years, and they were dying, or their family members were dying, and that hit at the core. And to keep some of the practices afloat, we had to figure out a way to still be able to access our patients, give them access to us, and provide, the healthcare needs that they had at that time. So when telemedicine changed everything with COVID, you will, from moving forward, if your doctor does not have a telemedicine platform, you probably need to find another one, because COVID and different variants of COVID are coming in our future just because of the way the world is, the way viruses mutate. And telemedicine is here to stay. And that has given me an opportunity to see patients in places that I never would have seen them, because they don't like coming into the office. And now they don't have to come. They come into the virtual office, check in, we talk, order the lab, send it to the lab. They go do the labs. We do have a quick conversation after the labs are done, send the prescriptions electronically to the pharmacy, and boom. Then they come in annually for that hands-on, face-to-face physical exam, and we're able to get things done. So yeah, COVID did make it more, we had to get more of a hustle in medicine to stay afloat, because some practices went under because of that. I did speak on COVID when it first came out initially, and I'll be very honest with you, sis. I was part of that conspiracy at first, because I was like, wait a minute, something don't smell good in the milk. The juice ain't worth the squeeze here. What y'all talking about? This all of a sudden, this just popped up off the map radar. Where did it come from? And then I was like, because, you watch TV and you watch the news, and then you play around on these social media platforms, and you start hearing one thing over here, one thing over there. And I'm a woke guy. I'm woke out this matrix, however you want to put it. I know what's going on in this world. Trust me, I'm no fool. I might have been born at night, but it sure wasn't last night. And so I know what's going on. So the woke part of me was like, you might need to look at this a little bit harder, because I didn't get the shot right away. I did not. I was like, man, I'm gonna wear this mask, and I'm gonna see how this play out. I'm gonna see where the chips gonna fall on this one, because somebody lying, somebody telling a lie. But I started seeing firsthand who was impacted, and sadly, it was people that look like me. And that's one thing I still have trouble with processing in this world. I want to digress a little bit here. How is it we are the smallest percentage of the population on this planet, yet we have the most of everything? I question who's doing the statistics, who's looking at this stuff, and how it's an agenda. But okay, that's my little soapbox. Back to the COVID.
I was raising my hand because it seems like vitamin D deficiencies are huge in cancer and heart disease and all of the things that us as African Americans are naturally deficient in vitamin D. And if you don't go to the doctor every year or every 6 months, whatever, to get your blood work, you'd never know that you needed more vitamin D. So yeah, that's
good point, sis. Good point, sis.
Vitamin D to everybody. I hand out vial. Here you go.
There you go. And I take it every day. So you right on it. You own it with that. Yeah. So And then back to COVID, it was like again, some of the conspiracies start to work me over. And I was like, man, I don't know. But then I started seeing firsthand people that looked like me, people that I cared about coming in with very severe symptoms. And it was touch and go at times, and we were going to be able to get them through this without any major issues and keep them on this side of heaven or on this side of the grave. And it was like, wow, so wait a minute now. This is serious. This is serious. And a lot of my colleagues, all races, it wasn't just me, my colleagues of all races also had concerns about it. And then we started looking at the science, we started looking at the evidence, where this is coming from. Then we started, talking about breaking down the virus and what it means, how it attacks the body. And then it started to make sense from a medicine and science standpoint for me. And I got vaccinated. And I encourage my patients to get vaccinated. But I'm not gonna lie, I drank the Kool-Aid when it first came out. I was like, nah, I ain't with that. But no, COVID is real. It is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It will be with us until we die. It is likely going to be classified like the seasonal flu. And there will likely be a vaccination we may have to get annually. They still haven't finalized that piece of it yet, but the multiple vaccinations are needed to help boost immunity and help your immune system recognize COVID if you happen to be exposed, because viruses mutate. There are different variants of the virus that are happening because of the antibiotics and antiviral medicines that we use. And then we have sanitized our environment so much that we don't live in we need bacteria. And that's one thing I never understood. When you go back to the medieval times where bacteria was everywhere, they got sick, but they were much stronger from a health standpoint because of the stuff they were exposed to on a regular basis. But we've gotten so civilized today. We've Clorox wiped everything. We alcohol everything. And there are no germs. And then you wonder your immune system ain't working at times because they ain't got nothing to work on. And then all of a sudden this virus shows up on the scene that your immune system ain't had no exercise with, and boom, everybody suffers. So yeah, COVID is here to stay, not going anywhere, and I encourage you to vaccinate. I think we're safe now to where you don't want to wear a mask. You don't have to, because a great percentage of the population has been vaccinated. And I think we're cool moving forward. Just want to see what the CDC and the other scientific leaders tell us what we need to do next.
Absolute greatness. I appreciate you so much. I know you just got done working out, y'all, and he still gave us his time, and he's a rock star.
Sure.
Absolutely for that. My last question my last question is to give all your platform information, but what would you tell the younger you? What would you tell the younger Eric if you could talk to him today?
The younger Eric, I wouldn't change a thing. Nice. The path that I took to get to where I am today, I probably would have gone to medical school though. So let me kind of give you a little bit of the history. I'm the first generation college graduate on my mom and dad's side. So yeah, thank you, sis. And again, I have to pinch myself because I tell you, my humble beginnings, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to live the life that I live today based on statistics and where I came from. My mom and dad, salt of the earth, love them to death. The greatest parents God could ever bless me with. And my brother, love him to death. My family there, love them to death. They saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and they pushed me to go and do more than what they were able to have access to because of the systematic issues that exist in Alabama. And I'll tell you this about Alabama, it's still backwards. It may be 2023 there, but some people, their mind still stuck in the 1960s, 1950s. And there's some structural, political, societal things that are still in place, alive and well, and they ain't wearing the capes like they used to because they don't have to. They just put on the judge robe and the police badge and continue doing what they're doing. And we all know that ain't just Alabama, that's the world. But coming from that area, I lived on a dirt road. We didn't have, we had well water, and we had very humble beginnings, and I was rich in love. My parents, oh my God, they made so many sacrifices for me and my brother to be the men that we are today. And I don't take it lightly. I'm standing on the shoulders of many ancestors, family, friends, distant relatives, cousins, community leaders, teachers that saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, that pushed me to go and do more and be better. than the generation, that I was coming behind. And it was like, okay, what do I want to do with this life? I didn't know at the time because I was an athlete in high school, thought I was going to play sports. Never saw a stranger. I was a class clown at times, but I was academically inclined. I was top of the class, and I never had any trouble with the ladies. So when it came time to pick college, I wasn't sure I was college material because of where I came from. Where I came from, you either worked at the factory, you worked on the farm, or you went in the military. Not a lot of people from where I came from went to college. So I didn't see that. But got a chance to do a couple college tours. And again, saw some beautiful ladies there. And I got a chance to see what nursing looked like just by accident almost. Saw this beautiful lady. I'm like, man, she is hot. What does she do for a living? Said, oh, I said, she a nurse practitioner? Okay, cool. I'm going to go see what's up. Went to talk to her, see what the deal was. And then, just looking at her, I'm like, she's beautiful. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if she is pretty, nursing school, that's where all the pretty girls go. I'm like, maybe I'll go to nursing school. Shoot, there's a buffet over there. Beautiful.
The truth comes out. The truth comes out.
I told you, I don't hide anything. I don't have anything to hide. That's me. So ended up, again, I was academically inclined. I could go pretty much most of the schools in the area. And I'll never forget, I told my guidance counselor, Ms. Stevens, I said, Ms. Stevens, I want to go be a nurse. And I was a star quarterback at that time at my school. I'll never forget, she was down at her desk writing on something. And she looked up from her desk and was like, go what? I said, I want to be a nurse. She was like, child, you're going to be playing football somewhere. You ain't going to do that. She didn't take me serious. A long story short, I went to LPN school at Trim State Technical College in Montgomery, Alabama. From there, I went to Troy State University, and from Troy University to Auburn, and from Auburn to University of South Alabama. And that is my journey to where I am today. And it was a stepwise process because, again, I didn't really have a template or something from my area that I could, build from. So I kind of made it happen. And with the support of my family, my community, I'm the man I am today. So I wouldn't change a thing.
Excellent.
Everything happened for a reason. All the ups and downs along that journey. And maybe I can share that journey with you at another time, Sister McKinney, because again, back to, you don't used to see me as a nurse. I went to school in Alabama. I was sometimes the only guy, not just black guy, sometimes the only guy in the class. So you think about that for a minute. It'll make you have to go get something to drink. Yeah, I dealt with some stuff going through school, sis, that it shouldn't have happened. And this was the early 90s. Mid to early 90s. There were some things happening in school that I thought I wouldn't experience because we had so-called evolved, we had arrived, civil rights had been in action. I would think that some of those things I saw in school, I wouldn't have to see. And but that gave me thick skin. And again, that made me become the voice of the voiceless. Because I said, you know what? I'll be damned if you're going to keep talking to me like this. When I get finished and do what I need to do, I'm going to speak up for my people, and there ain't going to be nothing you can do about it but kick rocks. So, but yeah, that's the story in a nutshell. And I thank God for the opportunity to be here today, but don't take it lightly. And I'm doing my part again to leave this world better than I found it. Share this wealth of information with anybody that will sit down and listen. I want to do my part to give them what I think they need. And whatever they want, they can ask me a question. I'm going to answer it. You've seen my platform. I'm out of bounds over here all the time. There's no subject off limit. And I want to make sure, again, that information is out there for the masses. So when my time is up and time to go, I'm out. I've done my part. Tell them that this is convenient, but doesn't.
You didn't give me a chance to read it.
Oh, I'm sorry, sis. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, Quincy was just saying telemedicine is convenient, but doesn't that remove the personal touch relationship one needs with their doctor?
Quincy, great question. Yes, I definitely agree with what you're saying there, but some patients are still scared of COVID. And think about it. Sick people come to the doctor. So if you are concerned about COVID in the community and you don't want to go see your doctor because you're scared you're going to get COVID, especially if you're not vaccinated, you'll be amazed at how many people are not vaccinated. Telemedicine provides you an opportunity to still see your doctor. It does remove that personal touch, which I agree, it makes a difference. but it gives you an option to still have access to care. So great question, but that's one of the newer options, and unfortunately, Quincy, it's not going anywhere. It is here to stay. I know a couple of my colleagues, they only do virtual medicine. They don't even have a brick and mortar business that you can come to. Everything is virtual. They see you virtually, send you a link, they order your labs, you get the labs done, they order your medicines, they don't even ever see you. So that's here to stay.
And I enjoy it, Q. I've had a couple of visits, and I'm gonna find out if I can see you. Can we do some? I have insurance.
I got you, sis.
Thank you.
We'll see.
We'll see. Right on. Thank you so much for joining us. You are excellent. Please keep doing everything that you do. Thank you for inspiring not only just our young men, but men in general. We're going to continue to share your stuff, and we're going to be all over you, getting you on episodes and doing everything we can coming forward. But please tell us where we can find you, all your different platforms moving forward.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for that, sis. I am Priority Male, and it is PRYORITYMALELLC. And Priority Male, where men's health is the priority. I'm a men's health education platform focused on men first, but I'm a family nurse practitioner, so I see from the cradle to the grave, both men and women. But the platform, I'm on TikTok. I probably have about 60-something thousand followers there. I'm on Instagram, probably got about 2,500 followers there. And I'm on Facebook as well. And I got a YouTube channel, but I'm gonna be very honest with you, that's a lot of work. So yeah, don't judge your boy, because I ain't perfect. But the YouTube channel is Priority Male as well. So, and again, I changed the I to a Y because it takes an X and a Y chromosome to create a male. So that's the play on the words with Priority Male, because that's not how priority is spelled. Right. And that's my little spin on it. But when you see it, you'll see a picture of me. You might see the beard a little Beijing, not like the one Sister McKinney shared. Back then, that beard was a little, had Beijing, that thing. But I'm letting the gray have its way now. I ain't trying to hide it anymore, baby,
And it looks absolutely wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Last words?
Last words? Again, thank you, sis, for this opportunity to be on your platform. I love what you're doing. I love the positive energy. I love this engagement we have here, and I hope we can do some of this moving forward. Love to be on your platform and come chop it up with your followers. And again, more power to you, and much continued success on what you're doing. Last parting words would be for the young men that look like me. There's a lot of opportunity in medicine. There's a lot of opportunity in nursing, and you can do just what I'm doing. Don't let the system and the naysayers tell you that you cannot. I've made a great living here with what I do as a nurse, and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. It allows me to see people at their lowest point and to engage with them and see them recover from illnesses that could sometimes take their life, and to be a part of their recovery. And then them remembering me and coming back and thanking me for what I did. And I don't take credit for any of that, because that's God working through me with the skill set that I have to help them at that time. But all this other stuff you see out there, all this negative stuff that's going on in the streets, young men, I'm an example. From where I come from, you can do it. And I want you to do that. And then the last thing I would say is, remember, it's easier to stay well than it is to get well. #Priority Male. You heard it here first.
Excellent. Your spirit is absolutely beautiful. I thank you again for joining us, and it won't be our last time.
Yeah, thank you so much, sis. I appreciate your time. And again, thank you for this opportunity. I don't take it lightly. And I look forward to us doing this again.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys who tuned in and watched. And if you didn't get a chance to catch it, don't worry. It's going to be all over the internet in the next couple of weeks because of me. Thank you again for joining us. And what time is it? It's time for you to be you, baby. Which is absolutely beautiful. Don't let nobody tell you anything any different. And if they do, get them right on up out of your circle today.
Amen.
Today. Be strong, take care, and be blessed.
Peace.